Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cultured Boys. And today we are doing something a little different. This is going to be called Anime Fight Club or Manga Fight Club, TBC.
Cultured Boys.
Cultured Boys Fight Club. That'll do. Cultured Boys Fight Club. Right, I'm Pepe. I'm joined by Nathan, and today we're gonna just have a fight club. Should I just leave it at that? No rules? Go on. How you doing today, mate?
I'm doing great now. What a brilliant intro. As Pepe mentioned, we're doing a fight club.
Yeah.
Not real life. We're weebs, so, you know,
I can't fight for
weak.
shit.
Yeah, we're weak and we don't actually know how to fight.
Yeah.
But we are putting together teams of 3 and a substitute
Mm-hmm.
to battle each other. The rules are the earliest iteration of the character and the abilities that they have in the first chapter/episode that they appear in. However, if that first chapter or episode the character doesn't actually do anything, like they just appear, you just see them, the caveat is their first battle they appear in.
Mm-hmm.
We've also said no Saitama class characters, no overpowered one-hit kills.
Yeah, it just ruins the fun that way. Yeah.
No villains or characters who started as villains. So, you know, no Vegetas, no Garas, characters like that. 1 character per franchise, so you don't overload on just one really OP series.
Mm-hmm.
No comedy characters because they're hard to quantify their strength.
Mm-hmm.
There's no external factors. So even if, for example, Ichigo is a Soul Reaper, he will not be invisible and intangible to other characters. He will be physically there and able to fight. We've also said no fan creations. So no fan animations, no OCs, no doujins, stuff like that. And we've also said no video game characters. So even if a video game character is from that franchise, if it's video game exclusive, they're not counted.
Yes.
Anything else, Pepe?
No, I think that's pretty much summed it all up. Like, so that includes, I don't like there's that thing, was it all like Dragon Ball Heroes characters are canon? We're not fucking including that shit. We're ruling that shit out.
Yes, because Dragon Ball Heroes initially was a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it does have promotional anime, it was a video game first.
Yeah.
Also because it takes place way later, so breaks the rule of first chapter that each character appeared in.
Mm-hmm.
Or episode, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, like, if we're good with those rules, then
Yep.
how do we want to announce our teams? Then do we want to like go one by one, or do we want to just go reveal our teams straight off the bat?
No, I think we should just go for the whole roster. So
Yeah.
you want to go first? Do you have a team name or?
Yeah, I got a team name.
Okay, go ahead.
My team name is called Team If You Don't Kill Me, the Chemicals Will.
Okay.
It's my team name. On my team, I've got Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom.
Oh, okay.
I've got Captain Bravo from Buso Renkin.
Never read it, so I don't know who that is.
Exactly. I didn't think you would. And my third person on my team is Panacotta Fugo from Part 5.
Oh, wow. Wow, that was left field. I was not expecting that.
I shit on him constantly, but he's going to be on my team. And as my substitute, I've got Emporio Vankov from One Piece.
Okay.
So that's my team.
Pretty interesting team.
Yeah. There you go, mate. What's yours? What's yours saying?
Mine is Team Death Defiers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist.
Uh-huh.
And we've got Andy, or Undead, from Undead Unluck.
Oh, okay. I haven't read that one, so you have to talk me through that
Yeah, exactly.
one. Okay.
And my sub of All Might from
Okay.
from My Hero Academia.
That's a good one, actually. Jesus. Okay. Fair.
So yeah, Team Death Defiers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's an interesting one because I've picked my team sort of, I mean, to cover a few bases, but I feel like yours like you got quite a bit of muscle behind. I don't know so much about is it Andy, did you say?
Yes, Andy from Undead Unluck. He is
Yeah.
undead.
So you want to talk through that? Like, do you want to talk through your team, like why you've chosen these characters, etc.? Like, you want to
Okay.
give it a little brief? Yeah.
So Kenshiro is just an obvious. He's powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Main character of Hokuto.
Mm-hmm.
He's killing it, right? Alphonse, because he's a suit of armor,
Mm-hmm.
so he shouldn't technically be able to take that much damage. Technically, I don't know.
Yeah. That's fair.
Andy, because again, he's undead. In the series, he is unkillable. By natural
Okay.
means and by conventional means, he cannot be killed.
Okay.
And All Might because, someone who's just really strong and basically needed like a Superman type. And I thought, well, he could just slot in. It's cool.
Okay. Fair. Get that.
So explain your team to me, because that's an interesting one.
So I'm gonna start off with Captain Bravo, right? Because he's not even the main character from Buso Rankin. He's kind of like the main character, Kazuki Muto. He gets it's kind of like a Bleach kind of vibe with the whole Buso Rankin series, where Kazuki's just a normal guy, but then he gets almost killed or whatever, and like sort of I'm trying to remember the character names actually, but it's been a while since I've read Buso Rankin. But one character that stood out to me right now is Captain Bravo, because he has this ability called Silver Skin. I think it's like his Buso Renkin, what it's called, and it basically it's like an armor thing, but it's like an impenetrable defense.
Okay.
So he's basically the guy who kind of covers the defense side of my team.
Okay.
So he's just there for defense wise, so he can block anything basically.
Okay, makes sense.
In terms of fighting power, he's just a normal like strong dude basically. He doesn't have anything like extra powerful. Like literally, he has like moves called Bravo Punch, right? He literally just punches someone, and he's just really strong. So
he sounds like my Alphonse, really.
Basically, yeah. He's just there for defensive power. Kuro Sensei is just like, it's just Kuro Sensei. It's like you see him establish really power, like he's got quite a bit of power behind him in this first chapter that he's establishing. Like no assassins can kill him. He's like got Mach 20 speed, etc. He's like able to fly around the world like super like quickly and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's only until like the end really of Assassination Classroom where he actually dies. So and like what was it? Normal weapons can't kill him either. You have to have those.
I guess spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. I guess. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. It's out there now. Like normal weapons can't kill him either, so it has to be like properly established weapons for that. Because I've got this guy that can basically, I don't know, avoid shit. He's like super powerful. This weirdly weird alien teacher dude, and I've got a guy who's got impenetrable defense. I've also chosen Fugo for my team, just because you only see him really fight in one battle in the whole fucking JoJo Part 5 series.
Yes.
And because he's so fucking overpowered. He's got this fucking one stand, which is literally going to kill everyone. I don't even know how to explain it. He's a danger to my team. He's a danger to your team.
Well, he's a danger to everyone because his stand will kill anyone if you breathe the poison gas or if he makes contact with you, because it's also deranged or something, isn't it?
Yes. It's just like a fucking messed up stand that basically doesn't try to kill anyone. They're just like, you just throw a punch and then that's it. The gas is out there. It's got a flesh-eating virus. There we go. He's there. And I've chosen Emporio Ivankov because basically he's a healer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because when he's first established in One Piece, he basically has, I can't remember exactly the name of his fruit, but he has the like power to affect hormones, I believe, and like so he can give characters energy boosts. He can heal them. Granted, like he isn't like exactly a doctor. He's not like I'll fix all sort of thing, but like Luffy's in the brink of death in Impel Down, and Bon Clay is able to save Luffy by bringing him to Ivankov. Granted, the way Ivankov saves Luffy, it's like an unconventional method, and like literally because Luffy was on death's door, like it basically like I don't know. They weren't even sure if Luffy would survive, but it's Luffy, so he did survive, and he came out and he's like, yeah, fucking let's go. That's the thing. If there's this guy that can bring people back from the brink of death, well, I've got to have him on my team. He's got to be saving people.
Okay, so before we get into it,
Mm-hmm.
little behind the scenes, we did have a quick discussion, and both of us had someone different,
Mm-hmm.
but because of rules, something didn't happen. So for me personally, it still would have been Fist of the North Star, but instead of Kenshiro, I would have had his older brother Toki.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But because I couldn't remember the first battle he appeared in,
Mm-hmm.
because the first chapter he ever appears in is chapter 45, and you literally just see a picture of him. He doesn't actually do anything.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to pick Toki originally because in Fist of the North Star, Toki was actually supposed to be the 64th successor.
Mm-hmm.
But then he protected Kenshiro and Yuria from part of an atomic explosion and got cancer.
Okay.
So he gave it
Fair
up
enough.
because he was dying.
Okay, I get you. Oh, that probably would have. Is it like interesting that if you had that, like, I don't know, combination of Ivankov and Toki, maybe it would have worked out. But
Also, now that you mentioned about healing, Toki uses Hokuto Shinken to heal rather than to kill.
okay, yeah.
So he would have been a really good healer as well. But because I don't remember his first battle, I didn't put him on the team. I put Kenshiro instead.
Ah, okay, fair. My yeah, I had another person as well, but I took him off because I thought it might be a bit. I don't know how it'd go down. But I chose Light Yagami from Death Note.
Oh, that would have been a tough one.
The thing is, he is Light Yagami, and granted, you got on your team guys that can probably kill people in an instant. It means that I'd have to have a team that's willing to protect Light for at least 40 seconds, and the fact that Light has to learn the other people's names as well.
True.
Because granted, if they're going in not knowing each other, like if they're going in blind, they don't know each other beforehand, then Light has to learn all these people's names. Who, like, how the fuck is he going to find out All Might's name? It's a superhero alias. So,
well, also he couldn't kill Andy undead either because Andy's not even his real name. He's been alive so long he doesn't remember his name.
Yeah, it's just like. Yeah, you can't even like go for he has like Shinigami eyes because one, that's like an external factor. Two, Light doesn't want to use the Shinigami eyes because he wants to live for like longest to see his new world, and it's not even established at that point. So it's like one of those ones where I'm glad I didn't choose him now because it just there's too many things that could go wrong if I chose them for my team. But God, okay, I'm looking at both our teams now, and Andy on your team is probably the one that concerns me the most.
I knew he would be. That's why I put him there.
Yeah, because like even if we like, so this is like where we say like this is like where we basically discuss which team we think would actually win this.
Yes.
Like it's a little bit of a debate. Like I'll try and pitch my team as much as possible, but I also know for a fact I know where the limits lie. So I think we can both say that we're going to be having a sort of civilized discussion about this. I'd say
I've already seen after what you've put, right, I've already seen an issue with my, should I say my ace of Kenshiro? Because Koro Sensei,
yeah.
Kenshiro is not going to be able to do anything.
No.
I don't think Koro Sensei has pressure points.
No, he's like this like basically alien type creature at this point. Obviously, like again, spoilers, but like Koro Sensei was originally human, like one of the best assassins.
Yeah, but then he got experimented on and turned into that weird octopus thing.
Exactly. So yeah, like with the weird octopus thing, granted, like in the first chapter, we don't know all of Koro Sensei's powers, but we know for a fact that he is this unkillable alien that's zooming around the world or whatever, like going collecting takoyaki from like different regions of Japan within seconds. So it's like one of those ones where you're like
so I feel like to deal with Koro Sensei, I'd have to hope that the specialized weapons or whatever does damage to Koro Sensei, you know, those special like BBs and knives and things, I'd have to hope that those can be alchemically created and that Alphonse could do something about.
It's a good question. What do we know what those knives are made
No,
of?
they just always said it was like special equipment.
Yes, so we have no clue. You have to basically hope for that. Okay.
So I'd have to hope that Alphonse just happens to create something that hurts him.
Yeah. Even then, with the fact that he has those things to hurt him, you have to hope that someone's able to actually kill him with those as well.
Well, okay. Here's what I'm gonna say then. Out of my team to go against Koro Sensei, I'm gonna put Andy because they're both unkillable. So they're just gonna fight until the end of time.
Okay, so what is it, like 15 minutes into the discussion, we're like, okay, those two are just gonna fight forever.
Yeah, even though we've got teams of 3, those two are gonna go off in the corner and fight forever, and nobody's gonna question it.
I mean, I think the only way that I can combat Andy is probably like using Fugo at this point. It's the only way I can.
But Andy can't be killed by any conventional means.
Any conventional, so literally even a flesh-eating virus, like
yeah, even a flesh-eating virus, he's got a healing factor that's crazy fast.
Okay.
In the first chapter, he even regenerates his entire body. He gets decapitated several times and regenerates.
God damn, man. Okay.
Part of his skill set is to like cut off parts of his body to use as like he has like a technique where basically if he cuts off part of his body, the blood rushes out and it acts as like a boost, a speed boost.
Okay. Yeah.
He does that a lot, and that's also within the first chapter. So Fugo is not going to do anything to Andy.
Fine. Okay. So the only person Fugo's potentially killing right now is Kenshiro.
Yeah.
That's the only potential because realistically, if it's Alphonse doesn't have any flesh to begin with.
Yeah, he's just a suit of armor. So
the only thing I don't know exactly how to take out Alphonse. Then my only hope is, God, Captain Bravo is a bit of he's what he's doing right now is defending people. That's all he can. That's like his main selling point. He's like basically got this sort of impenetrable Busa Renkin, which like basically means that he can't take damage with it. But at this point, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see him, Captain Bravo, go up against Kenshiro. Considering Kenshiro's...
I'm interested in that as well, yeah.
Kenshiro is... His whole thing is that Hokuto Shinken, you press pressure points inside. Like, so your fingers are... Your limbs are crazy strong and you could basically just put your hand through someone's body.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if Captain Bravo is too solid for him to do that.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because like, from what I remember, Silverskin, the Busa Renkin that he uses, like, it's never been defeated in the series.
Okay,
obviously that's further down anyway.
But does it get equated to anything? Like, you know, it's as hard as X, Y, Z.
I can have a look.
Because if it is, then that gives Kenshiro sort of like an in, or like that gives him kind of a measure. But even then, like, there's almost nothing that in Fist of the North Star that the Hokuto Shinken brothers can't fucking destroy with their hands.
That's more concerning. That sort of thing is like, yeah, what is the limits to...
That's not established in the first chapter. In the first chapter, he just explodes regular people and like rips apart a jail cell door, like the bars, as if it was nothing. So like we can assume that at least Kenshiro is strong enough to break through iron and stuff.
Yeah. So basically, let's go for Silverskin.
So if it's stronger than iron or like steel, then I would say Kenshiro probably can't do that.
So just give you a little bit of a backstory about Silverskin. Silverskin is got this ability called Metal Jacket Shield. Okay. When attacked, the surface of the jacket instantly changes into metal-like substance, limitless resilience to harm, while retaining even. Sorry, it's
so it's a metal-like substance, but we don't know what type.
Yeah, strongest defense power of all known Busa Renkin. Not only does it completely block physical attacks, it is resistant to atomic, biological, and chemical weaponry.
Ooh.
So granted.
So I'd say that's got the properties of lead because lead's the only thing that can block out radiation. I don't know if Kenshiro has ever broken through a solid thing of lead, like a massive like. As in,
I mean, you'd imagine like
like you know, like a big old friggin' like bunker door or something. I don't think I've ever seen him try to destroy one of those. But then why would he?
Yeah,
unless somebody evil was hiding in it, but they never do in Fist of the North Star. They all just like walk out in the open.
Granted, Bravo's gonna be a character that literally, if without Silverskin, even if you try to fight, is not gonna win. Kenshiro's gonna absolutely destroy Bravo. I'll tell you that for now. Like, because Bravo is power, but like its defense. That's the thing. It's like
here's the more interesting question.
Okay, yeah.
Do you think that Alphonse could alchemically create something or disrupt his metal skin?
God, that is I mean, technically, it's protective against chemical weaponry, and alchemy is sort of basically like chemistry.
Yeah, weird fucking
magic,
science magic.
Yeah, weird. So that's all we can associate with anyway. But I can't see another spoiler, I guess, to how Captain Bravo was defeated. The only time he has been defeated. Again, this is further on anyway. The only time he's been defeated is because he gave up Metal Jacket, because he has this ability where he can like sort of put on someone else and he can protect someone else. Obviously, he won't protect himself.
Makes sense.
That's the only way he's been defeated, because he was protecting someone else with Metal Jacket.
Interesting, but the rest of your team don't need that, so...
They don't need it, yeah. So he would literally be defending himself. He'd be a lone wolf at this point. Even though Captain Bravo does have this like sense of justice that he has to defend people. The only person he ideally probably would be able to defend is Fugo. But then, like, so he'd have to team up with Fugo to defend him. Fugo, meanwhile, is fucking releasing purple haze and trying to fucking kill everyone.
See, it's really hard because I see this as, you know, like, it's not as black and grey, you know, like black and white, like, this character versus this character, that character versus... I'm like, I see this now, the more we're discussing, I'm like, fuck, this is a free-for-all.
It would be, yeah, because I guess if it was like 1v1s, I think we could probably easily say this person defeats this person. But this is a free-for-all at this point. Plus, we've got our subs as well, in case someone dies, that we know.
True.
But who's dying?
Yeah, it seems like who's dying. On my team, it seems like only Kenshiro might die.
Yeah.
And then All Might goes in, but All Might doesn't seem like he's going to fare any better anyway.
So, okay, so I'm trying to think, is basically we've got to see if Kenshiro would be able to defeat Fugo. I feel like if Kenshiro and Fugo went head to head, right, Kenshiro probably would be able to defeat Fugo because he's got those sort of powers, but Fugo's obviously, it's a reaction time speed. This is what it's going to fall down to.
Yeah, see, but if it's down to reaction time, then Kenshiro's got it down.
Yeah.
He's a trained martial artist, and he's fighting all the time.
So it basically falls down to if Bravo can defend Fugo in time. Meanwhile, we've got Alphonse. What's Alphonse doing right now? So Bravo's defending Fugo, Kenshiro's going after Fugo.
Alphonse is, in my mind, Alphonse is just trying to see how he can use his alchemy against anyone and everyone. Like, I would at the moment probably put Alphonse against either Koro Sensei to see if he can damage him, or against Bravo to see if he can, like, disrupt his silver skin.
Yeah. I guess that's the problem with like Bravo's silver skin, is that the only way it's only been defeated is when Bravo gave up himself, but he doesn't need to defend anyone.
I'm thinking it's interesting because you said it was like a metal-like substance, right? So I'm like,
yeah,
if it's natural enough or seems natural enough, then alchemy might work. Granted, maybe he won't be able to disrupt the whole thing, but if we can take part of it off of him, turn it into something. Because, you know, like in the series, when they create stuff from the ground, like it takes the actual material. So then Alphonse could, if it works, like create a hole in his armor for anyone to just do something real quick.
Yes, yeah.
Again, that's assuming that Kenshiro's with him and not fighting against Fugo, which I'm sort of, I don't know. I guess I would put Kenshiro and Alphonse against those two and leave Andy to take on Koro Sensei.
Yeah.
But then Andy also seems like the best choice to take on Fugo because he's undead. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter what Fugo does. Eventually he'll get tired, and eventually Andy will get close enough.
Yeah. So we got fucking Andy who just seems. Has Andy ever been close to being killed? Is there any? Is it like? Does he have any weaknesses at all?
No, even in the entire series, he's not. He's been defeated, but only because it was what was it, like his original persona who defeated him. But even then, it was kind of like a concede defeat kind of thing. It wasn't that he was actually gonna die.
Okay, so to make any progress within this sort of thing, I think what's going to happen is, if Kenshiro's reaction speed is what you say it is, then I think he would kill Fugo. But obviously, Fugo's released his deadly virus by this point.
Yeah, so Kenshiro is probably gonna die.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this: Fugo's dead at this point.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he's released his purple haze, which has released the virus. So Kenshiro's fucking got this fucking virus going on right now. Alphonse is still there.
I mean, if the virus is like flesh eating, I can't imagine Kenshiro on the fly is going to be like, oh, I know a pressure point for that. I'm just going to press that in my own body and not fucking deteriorate. I don't think that exists, even in this fictitious world.
So
okay, so that's two of them out. But do we then go for subs in, or are we just leaving that?
I think it's got to be subs in at this point. So at this point, this is where the subs get brought in. So your sub is All Might.
Yeah.
And mine is Imperial Vankov. Okay. See, this is the thing, right? I brought him in as a healer to basically heal if any of my team are damaged from Fugo's flesh-eating virus. But at this point,
Fugo's dead, and the only other person who died from it is on my team.
Yeah, so is granted that Bravo can only defend himself. He can defend Ivankov if he wanted to.
Yeah, but I'd imagine by this point, with one down, you'd probably want him to defend himself, yeah? Because now it's just Alphonse and Andy on the offensive.
Yeah, so so what's All Might doing now? Is All Might...
I would probably use All Might as like a back row offensive kind of character, you know, like I guess I'd get him to use his speed and strength to just hopefully try to contain or move the gas away from himself, because he's the only one who's going to be damaged by it.
Yeah,
either that or hopefully I try to have him use his speed to take out your healer. Not that your healer is doing anything besides gonna keep Bravo alive, potentially, if something happens to him.
Okay, here's a question though. With Fugo dead at this point, is Purple Haze's flesh-eating virus still about?
That's a good point, because the stand is only alive as long as the user's alive, normally.
Yeah.
So does that mean, would that mean it's not even there then?
So virus might not even be there at this point. I feel what we have then. So Kenshira's dead because the flesh-eating virus. Fugo's dead, which means the virus has gone away. So basically those two wipes, so they've taken each other out. So now it's 3v3 on Koro Sensei, Bravo, and
Ivankov versus Alphonse, Andy, and All Might.
Yeah. I feel like Andy and Koro Sensei are literally just going to be...
They are going to fight till the end of time.
Yeah, there's no way of actually taking them out. So I feel what's going to happen is we just need to decide who's going to be living out of this two fight between Bravo and Ivankov and...
All Might and Alphonse, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting question then.
So, granted that in the first chapter of My Hero as well, we have seen that All Might does actually still have his time limit, right?
Yes.
So,
but he has also in the first chapter pushed past it. So
yeah, he can still fight until a certain point. He can still
yeah, I don't think it's established how long the time limit is. It's just he has one.
Yeah. So my hope would be
is that All Might fucking runs out of steam and then you fucking kill him off.
Yeah, it depends on what Ivankov can do with it, because it's all about hormone powers. So he can turn All Might into a woman.
Yay?
Yeah.
I don't need to think about that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what Ivankov would be able to do to Alphonse. But the only way to defeat Alphonse is by going into the armor and getting rid of the thing, isn't it? The little...
Yeah, I think so. Wiping off the...
But no one's going to know that. Who's going to fucking go into Alphonse's armor? You'd have to tear Alphonse apart for one.
Yeah, I think you'd have to break the entire suit of armor. To the point of no return. Because I think that's the only other way he dies, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Not that it's... I don't think it ever did happen. Because I only watched the anime for that. But...
Yeah, because I watched Brotherhood.
I don't think that ever happened. But I'm pretty sure that's what would happen if you destroyed the suit of armor.
The near-death... when they look at Alphonse's near-death experiences or whatever, where someone's about to take him out or whatever, then that's... obviously he doesn't get taken out because Edward's always there to fucking defend him.
Now he's got All Might to defend him, as long as he's in his muscle form.
So my hope is that Bravo's there to defend Ivankov. So, okay, I'm going to do a little power play thing here.
Okay.
Bravo is basically... He's not going to do much right now. I think he could probably take out Alphonse. I think he'd probably be able to destroy the armor, but obviously... I don't know if he'd be able to defeat Alphonse. I mean, he'd probably take the armor apart.
But it depends on how far, how badly does he take it apart? Because in the first chapter, Alphonse's helmet gets removed, or his head, but the rest of the armor still moves. So, if you're saying, he tries to destroy the entire thing, I don't think Alphonse would let that happen. For the obvious, why would you if that's your body and that's how you're surviving?
God. I don't know who's going to...
And, in the first chapter, Alphonse is strong enough to knock out a normal guy.
Yeah.
So he's got to be somewhat strong.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine it would probably... That might also be another complete write-off.
Yeah.
I think until one of them gets tired.
Okay, so we'd have to basically hope that, obviously, if Koro Sensei and Andy, we'd have to bring him into the fight itself, and it'd have to be Koro Sensei. So if we were going to bring these fighters in to the actual, because obviously we would say they're all fighting each other, but we'd actually have to bring them into the fucking free-for-all to actually help out at this point. And at which point, I think Koro Sensei would have to separate Alphonse's armor.
Yeah, and he'd be fast enough to do it.
Yeah, probably scatter it that way. That's the only way I can see Alphonse getting defeated right now, via that.
Shit, then All Might can't fight because I'd have to use his speed to try and reassemble Alphonse, assuming that Koro Sensei isn't just constantly flying around at full speed with it.
Yeah. And I feel that's the pro that I've got with Koro Sensei. He's got just flying around basically. So I think he's the one that's going to take out Alphonse.
Okay.
With All Might, I think...
All Might, as long as he's in muscle form, I think he could hold his own.
Yeah.
And could potentially at least because it's All Might, you know, he's not going to kill. But he could probably knock out Ivankov if the chance
I reckon.
presented itself. But I also feel like it wouldn't be that hard, right? Because if Bravo's just a guy,
Yeah.
like All Might's fucking huge, and he's got all of his smash attacks that have all that air pressure and crap. I reckon All Might could take out Ivankov, even with Bravo in the way. And if Andy's coming back in,
Yeah.
Andy can distract.
I feel then, because okay, I was going to say something that I realized because it's further down the line. It's not like we're only limited to what abilities he can do right now. So I can't even move Bravo's armor onto Ivankov to defend him because that's further down the line.
No, he'd just have to stand in front.
He just had to stand. All he can do is defend. Granted, Bravo is like I say he's a guy, like he's like a normal human that has this power, but he is like trained. Like he does have like sort of, like probably military power, I'd say.
I mean, that's fair, but again, if Koro Sensei comes in to take out Alphonse, then Andy would still be there.
Yeah. What's Andy's power in like what's his power like granted writing off all the dead like
he's basically as strong as a normal like guy.
Okay, so we'd probably be able to say
I mean, I'd say he's strong. He's probably a little stronger than a normal person.
Yeah.
Assuming that a normal person is like someone close to ourselves who doesn't really exercise all that much.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't actually have all that much strength because Andy's pretty ripped.
Okay, yeah.
In the illustrations, he's a healthy guy. He goes to the gym and whatever. You know, he's got a lot of exercise. So I'd say he's probably stronger than the average human, but his skill set is mainly from being able to like pressurize his blood to like use body parts as projectiles and stuff, at least in the first chapter.
So in terms of power, I'd say probably Bravo and Andy are probably on the same power scale, then in which case.
Yeah, it's just Andy
just can't fucking die. And Bravo can defend shit. So,
But that's why I say that Bravo could be distracted by Andy.
Yeah.
Andy could just come in and stay on the offensive.
Yeah.
Keep Bravo distracted whilst All Might goes in for the knockout.
Bravo's just going to be on the defensive the whole fucking time. The whole fucking match has been on the defensive. Like, anyone that comes at him, he can just defend it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, you know, whilst he's doing that, All Might could easily come in, knock out Ivankov, and then you're like, that's one of your guys down.
I think we can't disregard Ivankov's powers here, though, because I think...
True. Ivankov can also fight, but I'm just saying, All Might with enough speed, I'm not sure if Ivankov can react.
It depends. I think it depends on his power. I think it depends on what Ivankov can do with his Devil Fruit powers, right? Because he can also change his form as well. So although he's a big guy to start off with, he can...
True, but does he do that in the first chapter?
He does not do it in the first chapter. That's
exactly.
So...
in the first chapter you see him, or the first battle you see him, if he doesn't do any of that stuff, then we still leave him as the giant guy he is.
Yeah. In which case... Probably, but yeah, I'd say... I'm trying to think if there's anything in the first chapter that Ivankov does apart from heal Luffy, but he obviously doesn't fight in it. So you see his abilities, you see he has a power of hormone and stuff, but...
Well, then he's getting Detroit Smash!
I reckon All Might probably would be able to take out Ivankov, in which case.
Detroit Smash!
In which case, yeah, Ivankov is down, which means you've still got Andy...
And All Might.
And All Might, because Alphonse has just been separated by Koro Sensei. So so it's basically the guy who has... It's going to be a stamina battle between All Might and Bravo then, in which case.
Yeah, because as soon as All Might loses his muscle form, Bravo could probably punch him and he'd die. Because normal All Might is a skeleton.
And... I don't think like the Buso Renkins actually sort of take out that much. Like, granted, when fighting, yeah, I think stamina would like be a major factor in it. But if Bravo's literally just taking the beat down from All Might, but he isn't getting damage from it because of the silver skin, the metal jacket.
Yeah.
Bravo's just a punching bag without taking damage until All Might can...
So that would be All Might out.
Yeah.
If he's not phased by it and it's not taking away his energy and he can keep this thing on, like this silver skin going almost indefinitely, then yeah, All Might eventually would get the shit kicked out of him. He probably wouldn't get killed, but he'd get knocked out at least.
Yeah, he'd get knocked out. He wouldn't get killed. Let's put it that way, because I think both All Might and Bravo are like, they're heavily into the justice stuff. Like, Bravo wouldn't kill a normal human being or whatever. He wants to kill the homunculi. which are the evil people in
No, not Full Metal Alchemist.
it falls back into that, doesn't it? It does fall back into that. I didn't even think of that when I first thought that.
But then it still will come down to the last two, Bravo and Koro, and Alphonse and Andy. I think it just comes to a stalemate.
It does, don't it? Yeah. I think the only it depends on how much we can write Alphonse off in terms of, because if Bravo, say like Alphonse hasn't been defeated at this point, so we've got fucking All Might's gone taken out by Bravo, and
it depends on how Koro Sensei took him out, right? Because again, have you decided that he's just going to split him apart with his tentacles and just fly around at Mark 20 the whole time?
Yeah.
Or has he dropped Alphonse off at several different locations, so his armor has to try and find its way back together, which I don't think it can do.
I was going to go for that version and just basically separate him around the world, because if Koro Sensei can go around the world.
Yeah, if it's the second part, well then that's Alphonse out.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever established that Alphonse, if it's separated to that degree, can reform himself, especially if it's around the world. So then it's really 2 against 1.
It's gonna be like collecting the fucking Dragon Balls.
Kind of.
Just go and find the parts of Alpha.
Or JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo.
It's JoJo Part 7. So then it's Koro and Bravo versus Andy, but
well, we can't defeat Andy because he's invincible at this point.
Yeah.
And his first chapter stuff, so it's like, even if he has the
I'm gonna hate saying this.
Mm-hmm.
There is technically only one way that they almost stopped Andy in the first chapter.
Okay, yeah.
And that was when they decapitated him, they put his head in a like lead ball so that he couldn't regenerate.
Oh, so it's like sealing away basically.
Yeah, so he couldn't regenerate.
Yeah.
And because it's the first chapter, he doesn't know how to regenerate anything from a separated piece of his body. As in, like, so it's only his active head. Anything from his head he can do. But if it was from his detached body from that head, he couldn't do it.
I guess it's a weakness, isn't it? Like this.
So you'd basically have to try and seal away his head.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Bravo probably does have means to do so, but that's further in the chat. Like, that's further down the story, and obviously we haven't seen that yet. So all we've seen Bravo do really in the first chapter is defend and fucking use a powerful punch, which obviously won't take out Andy. So
I have to mention it just out of fairness. I don't want to, obviously, because then I could have just left this at a stalemate. But
yeah,
with that information out there is only one person who could definitely. Koro Sensei could seal Andy's head with his speed, and then that would be it.
Yeah, that'd have to be it, wouldn't it? At the end of the day, Koro Sensei's...
Not to, shit on my own team, which it feels like right now, but Koro Sensei is a teacher. He's smart.
Yeah.
So he would probably think something like that.
Mm.
Because although he's not a full comedy character, he does have like gag aspects.
Yeah.
So I feel like a character like Koro Sensei would easily think outside of the box.
He's a trained assassin as well.
Exactly. So he could easily decapitate Andy.
Yeah. He'd know the ways around it. Obviously, like, this is the one thing. Yeah.
And Koro Sensei would be the only character fast enough to seal their head away before he could regenerate.
Yeah, I guess that'd have to be it, really. That's the only way this outcome is going to happen. Because Andy doesn't have the access to the tools right now to kill Koro Sensei because of those external factors.
Yeah, plus all of Andy's cool powers don't happen until much later in the series.
Yeah.
Again, in the first chapter, he can't regenerate from a dead piece of himself. Essentially, like, if you decapitate him, he can't grow a new head on the old body. He has to grow the body out of his current head.
Okay,
he doesn't gain that ability until much later in the series.
Yeah, my one other that I'm doing the same as you now, trying to just basically, because I want to have this as much as a fair fight as possible. Like, obviously we've seen Koro Sensei in that first chapter zoom around the world or whatever, do his shit, and he can't be killed apart from the knives thing. But like, do we know that he has the power to sort of seal off stuff in that?
What do you mean?
Like, sort of like seal off Andy, in which case, like, do we feel like within that first chapter he'd have the knowledge? Yeah.
Again, I just feel like because he's a teacher, because he was an assassin, even in the first chapter, he's already quite unconventional. I think that in itself would lead him to think something unconventional, like, oh, maybe just seal off the head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he'd be...
Yeah, Yeah, that's the thing. He comes through with a lot of stuff, doesn't he? Yeah.
Like, I feel like he'd have enough experience and be observant enough to make that kind of judgment call. But that's just me personally, even though it goes against my own team.
Yeah.
I feel like Koro Sensei is like that.
I agree, yeah, because like, that's the thing. Like, even when, like, obviously there's the troublemakers within class. It's class E, isn't it? In Assassination Classroom.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, like there's troublemakers, and within that first chapter, Nagisa is targeted by those bullies, and like Koro Sensei is easily like quick to just like switch those out or whatever. He like basically like he basically fixes everything, so Nagisa isn't like, I don't know, killing himself because the bullies told him to. Like with like doing a martyr attempt, basically. Yeah, I think it works out that way, I guess. Yeah, Koro Sensei just knows what to do in any situation.
Shit, man. To be fair, as soon as you said Koro Sensei at the start, I knew that was going to be the biggest problem, because he's so close. He's so close to being disqualified, because he's like more comedy than anything, but he does appear in a battle manga and does fight, so you're like, shit.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where like I was thinking of like, can I get away with this? And I thought it is a battle manga at the end. It's not say like Psyche or like
exactly right
or whatever. Like,
personally, I feel like you just got away with it. Like if there was a hard cutoff, you're like right in front of it, like a millimeter in front of it.
Yeah, it's like one of those ones. It's because like, it does have comedy elements in it, but yeah.
Man.
God, okay, we calling it that then?
Yeah.
2 survivors are Koro Sensei and Bravo. Fucking hell.
Just because one guy, we didn't even know if Alphonse could create a hole in his armor.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, but no, GG.
Honestly, yeah. But that was a lot harder than I thought it would be to like.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. I feel like there's a little bit of lack of research on my side with certain bits, but I looked them up in that. But like,
I think there's always going to be a lack of research, because what we're doing is writing weird fanfic, you know, like because it's really
what the Cultured Boys. It is literally that. It is literally like,
because it's like, oh, characters that never would interact, so the creators never thought about it, right? And now we're going, yeah, but would he do that? Would that work against them?
We chose a good power scale though, to be fair, considering. Like, I think, like, granted, like, there's characters from different series. And we could have that's the thing, like, I could have easily chosen someone like Gintoki, for example, from Gintama. Granted, it's comedy and battles, so I think I still get away from
or had you not put in the rule of earliest iteration, I would have gone like Ultra Instinct Goku.
Exactly, yeah, we could have easily just done that sort of thing. Like, at the end of the day, it would be,
or I would have the Grand Priest or whatever, you know, like just characters that are like untouchable, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, like, I think we had to be smart about that sort of thing with these rules. So like, but yeah, it's interesting. No, I enjoyed that. That was cool.
That was cool. We should do this again at some point.
I'll be down here.
Maybe with a different rule set or something. I don't know.
I think so. Yeah, maybe it's like sort of human characters or something like that. Like actual. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can come up with.
Right, and with that, thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notified when all our videos come out, and check us out on podcast platforms. We have the links in the description all the time. And yeah, that's it from me. See you later, guys.
Cool. See ya. Bye.